Very good mornings, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Asian Vision Dialogue. Today I have the great pleasure to have Dr. Sin Som, researcher at the Royal Academy of Cambodia, as our guest speaker today. And we will discuss another topic with regard to the US-China technology competition, rethinking who's winning. And without further delay, please join me in welcoming Dr. Som to our program. Greetings, Dr. Som.
Yeah, thank you, Sinu. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Doctor, once again for joining us again in our program. So, within the new topics that we would like to discuss a little bit on the current scenario between US and China on technology competition. So first of all, Doctor, how do you assess the claim that China is the essential lead in technology? And is this claim based on the reality, or is there more to the story?
Yes, thank you so much, Sinu, for your invitation. And also thank you for your question.
Yes.
I think that question is very tough for me to talk which one is much better, because I've been to United States like long times ago, just a short time in the States, but I've been to China many times. And during each time that I go, I always notice the development in each country, when in the United States and also in China. So in terms of technology, I would say it is hard to say who is the stronger or the winner. But I just want to give you one example. For example, here in Cambodia, what we are using right now is Google. And yes, Google is the company of the United States, and other technology, like social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and other technology, those are very simple, but those technology that have been used in other countries, especially in ASEAN country, are the technology from the United States. But in China, if you go to China, they have their own technology, to use. For example, if I just try to talk something that is very normal, very simple in China. They may use a WeChat, or they may use their own program. I don't know the name, but you can find the location, and you can pay the money and easily. So I can say right now both China and the United States, they are very modern in terms of technology. And it is very hard for me to say who is the stronger and who is the winner, because both of them, China and the United States, the technology is extremely important. So if there is something that related to national security, for example, or if there is something that related to the military capacity, they are very strong, and strong that each party, each country, they really need to know from each other. So I'm sorry that I could not answer who is the stronger and who is the winner, but I just can say they are very modern, and they can use the most updated technology for to protect their country and also for the development in their country. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Doctor. So, connecting to your answer, so how would you describe the current landscape of the US-China technology competition? And can you tell us, what are the reasons behind this scenario?
Yes. Usually, every country, but because we just would like to focus on China and United States, mostly when each country they started to develop technology, for example, nuclear power,
yes.
because they would like to protect their own country. It means that it is to be used for the national security or for the country protection. That are the main point of when each country started to develop their own technology. If we look back to the history, for example, before the World War II, when the country started to develop the nuclear power for the first time, each country just hope that they can protect their enemy or protect the country that want to invade their sovereignty. So the main purpose is to protect the security. And another purpose is that those countries always want to support their people to make life is more comfortable, more easier than before. Just for example, right now, I just would like to use the most simple example. Right now, it is very easy if you want to go somewhere.
Yes.
I mean, you just drop the location, even though you don't know that place. You still can find that place through the location. And in terms of like weapon or other military, I'm not quite sure, but right now, because weapon is very modern,
Yes.
yeah, you just can use a computer, and then you can use you can test like North Korea is doing right now. They can test missile from the computer, and they can use other modern material. So, just in short to your question, the main purpose is to develop. Is to protect the national security and also to support the living standard of their own people. But at the same time, I believe that it is also the strategy that each powerful country or each country they may need to develop the technology for their country in order to be the strategy to win or to control other country. Yeah.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Doctor. So, looking forward, so what are the potential scenario of the future U.S.-China tech competition, and how might this scenario influence the global technological cooperation from your perspective?
Because the world right now, actually in ASEAN or in the world right now, we may only focus on China and United States. But at the same time, Russia also played the most important role in technology.
Yes.
And right now, if you listen to the news, like yesterday or the day after yesterday, the BRICS, they also try to expand their memberships. And there is the discussion on the new currency that is not the US dollar. Because right now, even here in Cambodia, US dollar is very popular, and the world US dollar is very popular. But still there are countries, like for example, the country in BRICS, and they just try to create their own currency to replace the USD. That in that way, because they know that if they no longer using US dollar, they will not under the control of the United States. So because the technology or the scenario of the competition in the technology of each country, they have it is very broad and it is too big. So each country always try to use or try to develop the new technology to avoid the power of another country. For example, like what I mentioned just before, because we are living in our world right now. You like it or not, but United States is very powerful in almost everything, even technology, military, and also the currency, US dollar. So those are the soft power of the United States. We cannot deny that. But at the same time, if you go to country like, for example, China, because you cannot use Google in China, you just can use WeChat. In China, everything that used in the country is developed by Chinese business people or by the Chinese government. So the power, if you just stay inside China, it is okay to use the technology that developed by Chinese business people, because China can control everything in the country. But if you go just outside of China, you come to ASEAN country, we always use technology that established by the US company. For example, like I myself, I have 2 phones. So all the time I may spend my time with Twitter, Facebook, and technology of the US company. But that is just a small, very simple one. I'm not really quite sure, and I do not know how to describe the power of the military that, for example, if we talk about the US naval, US military and their power, the US weapons and Chinese weapons, because I believe those are beyond my own understanding. I mean, because they are very modern. Yeah. In terms of technology competition between China and United States, they are very modern. And if we, Cambodia, we talk about that technology, I believe that we are still, I mean, we need to learn, we need to take more time in order to reach the level that they are having right now. Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor. So, thank you very much for your insight concerning our topic. So, I think we have covered everything for the topic. Thank you, Doctor, once again. Yes, for joining us today. And I look forward to having you in the near future.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the topic with regard to the US-China technology competition, this thinking who's winning in the Asian Vision Dialogue has now come to an end. Thank you for watching. See you next time.